Hi guys, welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. Today we are kicking it off for a live watch along for this game, Chelsea versus Manchester United. Who is looking forward to this one? Thank you to everybody who is in the live already. We've got Cam Kirk in here, Hoops Home, Edward Vine. I recognise a couple of you. Thank you guys for jumping in the stream already. We'll get on to all things Chelsea, Manchester United. If you haven't done already, please go down there, hit subscribe on the channel. It's going to be a good one, at least we hope. We'll get on to match lineups and all things Chelsea and Man United. We'll have a chat about both sides. Get any questions in, anything you want mentioned, Chelsea or Manchester United. And hopefully we're in for a good afternoon on this fine Sunday. The weather's nice and all we need is a good match between the two sides. Right, what do we reckon for today's game then? Chelsea-Manchester United. Obviously Chelsea have replaced of late Frank Lampard and brought in Thomas Tuchel. And he's done pretty well to kind of reassure this Chelsea side. Had a good result in midweek. Didn't look too good last time out in the Premier League though against Southampton, getting a draw. But he's made them much more solid, and they're coming up against Manchester United side, which are very good on the road. Right. We'll have a look up at the team lineups in just a moment. Just over 17 minutes till we get it underway. What are you guys predicting for the scoreline today? I'm thinking it's going to be a draw. I'm thinking it's going to be a draw, to be perfectly honest. Alex Lambert is going for a 2-0 Manchester United victory. Now, I think this game is going to go one of two ways. It's going to be high scoring, or both sides are going to cancel each other out. And like I said, I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be, sadly, not the latter. I'm not sure it's going to be the most entertaining game. I'm hopeful, but I do feel as though it's going to be a little bit cagey. I mean, Chelsea, I think, will dominate most of the possession in this one. Manchester United will look to counter them on the break. They've been fantastic on the road this season. They're undefeated in 19 away games. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Harry Clark recognising the setup. I'm not sure why, mate. Not sure why. 2-2 for Hoops Home. Jay Haaland, of course, is going for Manchester United. Now, let's have a little look at the team lineups then. We have got, there we go. Chelsea lining up with what looks to be the formation they've gone with for a little while now. Arguably this 3-4-3/5 at the back. Depends however you want to put it. End of the day, it's 3 centre-halves and 2 wing-backs. You're looking at Mendy, Azpilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, Hudson-Odoi, Kovacic, Kante, Chilwell, Ziyech, Mount, and Giroud. Now, interestingly, Giroud has managed to nail down that starting spot in the starting lineup after the winner he got in midweek in the Champions League tie with Atletico Madrid. Now, a lot of people weren't really expecting Giroud to start. I can't say I was either. I was expecting maybe a Mason Mount false 9. But yeah, Giroud's going to lead the way for Chelsea. It's going to be this back 5. It's interesting because Chilwell hasn't really played too many games as wing back for Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel does usually favour going for Marcus Alonso with his sort kind of resurgence and picking up the form that he has done this season after kind of a bad spell last year. Looking at Manchester United's lineup, De Gea, Lindelof, Maguire, Rashford, Greenwood, Fred, Bruno Fernandes, James, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, and sorry, this is in the way there, I can't even get onto it, and McTominay. Now, Greenwood is going to lead the line for Manchester United. One I wasn't expecting either, but yeah, a couple of changes to throw into the mix. Quite an inexperienced front three for Manchester United. If you're looking at it, Greenwood, of course, he's only very young. James, despite his age at 24, he's still very inexperienced in the Premier League. Of course, Marcus Rashford does have a lot of Premier League games, international games under his belt, but still, he has age on his side. What are you guys thinking about this one? Get your predictions in the comment section. Beans. McTominay in the starting lineup again for Manchester United. And they've got that back 4. Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka. Now, I'm sure a lot of Manchester United fans do agree, but Maguire and Lindelof, for me, aren't the most reassuring centre-backs. For me, I'd prefer Bailly in there. And really, it's kind of mental that Manchester United are second in the Premier League and the quality of their 2 centre-halves is so subpar, in my opinion. And that could divide opinion. But, yeah, it's been an interesting one. If we're looking at both sides, kind of head to head. Last time out, this fixture last season at Stamford Bridge, Manchester United did get the better of the Blues, winning 2-0. United beating Chelsea the last 3 times at Stamford Bridge. That could be a mental edge for Manchester United going into this one. Chelsea have kept 3 clean sheets in their last 3 games at home, but United have not lost in their last 19 games on the road. So that's the thing, Manchester United, really favouring this counter-attack, and it's kind of come to fruition and really got them some good points on the board. And I think, Manchester United, sometimes I have to question myself and just look at the table and just think, wow, how have they got to second in the league this year? They haven't blown away many sides, but that's not really their style. They're not the prettiest sides. Of course, they have blown a couple sides away. Leeds United and Southampton, that 9-0 victory over Southampton, are the 2 that they have really dominated games. But if you look throughout that, they haven't done it too many times. But they're a side that knows how to win. And at the end of the day, they're getting points on the board. That's what that matters. And as you can see, they are second in the league, and that is paying dividends for them. Chelsea, this 3 at the back system is interesting. I don't really think it's something that's going to be going too long term for Chelsea. I feel like a 4 at the back system will help them because they are a side that wants to dominate games. They want to have the better spells of possession. They want to take the games to other sides, which is something we'll see today. But I feel as though having 5 at the back and only 2 in midfield, with the likes of Kante and Kovacic, of course, Mount and Ziyech in front of them, but those 2 kind of holding midfielders, if they want to dominate games, that's not enough in midfield. I feel like they need to take that's another centre half out of the game and put another midfielder in there if they really do want to dominate and create chances, because Chelsea aren't a side that score a lot of goals for how they should be doing anyway with the attacking players they have on the pitch. Interesting to see that Ziyech is back in the starting lineup for Chelsea today, because he's kind of been out of favour for Chelsea. He hasn't really hit the heights. It's going to be a big game for him to see if he can really put in a performance that's going to get him back in that starting lineup again after this one. If we look at the 2 kind of key players that kind of have a big influence on the game today, of course, Bruno Fernandes, Manchester United. What a player he is. We all know about Bruno Fernandes, 15 goals and 10 assists in this Premier League campaign. I just want to say, if you haven't done already, please go down there, drop a like on the stream. And if you're watching it, please share it with anybody else you know is a Manchester United or Chelsea fan, or anybody that may be of interest for this stream. Thank you to the couple of you that are in here. It's the first stream. We're just kicking it off. We're just whetting the appetite. So do hit subscribe if you haven't done already. But yeah, the 2 kind of big players that are going to have a big influence on this game today for both sides, Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount. Now, if you do compare the 2, there's levels to this game. We all know Bruno Fernandes is a much superior player to Mason Mount, but Mason Mount has been very, very influential to Chelsea this season. Just 4 goals and 3 assists, but they've been pivotal goals and assists. Without those 4 goals for Mason Mount, Chelsea would be 6 points worse off. He's been the dividing point in games. He's won them in later stages, and he is a big player for Chelsea. I've always been a little bit hesitant about him because I feel his inconsistency is something that's kind of hindered his game, but he's improved on that this season, and he is, of course, a major factor in kind of Chelsea's creative play. He's very influential to them, but of course, Bruno Fernandes is just doing it on other levels. He is such a big player for Manchester United. Now, this is another thing that I was kind of mentioning, is that Manchester United, like I touched upon, haven't really blown teams away all over the pitch. They haven't dominated first minute to the last, and they haven't been massively high-scoring games. But it's kind of been United have been consistent, and what they've done is they've won games through individual brilliance. The likes of Bruno Fernandes always coming up trumps from set pieces, from penalties. And he's created so much for Manchester United. Rashford's also having a good season. And it's going to be an interesting encounter, this one. It's going to be an interesting encounter. Bloody hell, how much research have you done? You've got to be prepared. You've got to be prepared. And because Southgate pits him over... Yeah, see, this is for me... I don't really agree with how much... that Southgate has picked Mason Mount for England. I don't think he's quite at that level. I think there's many other players that I would prefer to be in that starting lineup for England. Like I say, Grealish pisses all over Mason Mount, in my opinion. But Mason Mount has got a big future ahead of him, and hopefully he can come good for England. What else are you guys thinking? What sort of comments are you making on this one? I've got a feeling it's going to be a 1-1 draw today. I think Chelsea will get a goal. I'm going to go quite precise prediction. I'm going to go Chelsea are going to get a goal towards the end of the first half. And then Manchester United will catch Chelsea on the counter-attack late on in the game. And I think it's going to be 1-1. That's what I'm going for. What are you guys predicting for today's encounter? Big Premier League game. Both sides in the hunt for a top 4 finish. Of course, Manchester United, second place. And Chelsea in 5th. Chelsea in 5th? I'm not sure if that's even right. I can't exactly remember where they are, but I know they're close to the top 4. In terms of injuries, Chelsea, Thiago Silva is out with a thigh injury. Manchester United without Mata, Pogba and Jones, and Cavani, Van der Beek also out with a lack of match fitness. So Cavani has done well since he's come into Manchester United. I think he's kind of been that player that they've been missing someone to lead the line. But Greenwood are going to try and step in today and fill that void. Just over 7.5 minutes until we get underway in this tie. Manchester United versus Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, 4:30 on this lovely sunny Sunday. Yeah, what a big loss. Big loss without Jones. I'm sure all Manchester United fans are absolutely gutted. Oh, not long to go now. Both sides coming off a good bit of form. Manchester United having a good win against Real Sociedad in the Europa League. Of course, Chelsea playing this week in the Champions League. And a 3-0 win against Villa last time out for Manchester United. Let's hope it's going to be a good one. I keep on saying it's going to be a good one. Let's hope that these two sides facilitate and bring us a nice game on a Sunday afternoon. Very, very different for me not to be talking about QPR, because if you don't already, go check out Talking Rangers, my QPR channel. But yeah, it's nice to talk about some other sides and kind of talk about the Premier League. So if you haven't done already, please go down there, hit subscribe, and share it with anybody else that you know this would be of interest to. Hudson-Odoi as well, back in the starting lineup for Chelsea after that very weird incident last week with him being subbed on in the later spells of the game, then subbed back off. What did you guys make of that? What did you make of that? I think what's going to be interesting today is Giroud leading the line for Chelsea. Of course, there's two faster players playing off him, the likes of Ziyech and Mount. It's going to be an interesting style. For Chelsea. Olivier Giroud, he's getting on now. We all know he's lacking pace, but he's an experienced head there. With Ziyech and Mount, obviously two inexperienced players around him. Can he be that calming head and bring the best out of them? As well, two experienced sort of front three. Ziyech, very inexperienced at Premier League level. Mason Mount coming into his second season now in the Premier League, and as well, quite similar to Manchester United. James, I don't really think is cut out for the Premier League. It still does amaze me how he's getting game time at Manchester United. He was a very good player. Saw lots of him at Swansea. But fair play to him. He's getting on the side. I don't really think he's done too well this season, but let's see what he can bring today. Greenwood getting a big chance leading the line. I've got Tuchel said it perfectly. If you don't show passion, you don't play. Spot on. Now, it was an interesting thing that he was so frustrated with what was going on else in the game, and Hudson-Odoi was playing right back, and he was kind of closest to Thomas Tuchel, and he kind of took his frustration taking him off when he's frustrated with events elsewhere on the pitch. It's quite interesting. Somewhat a manager of his experience should be able to really highlight areas in the pitch that are going wrong and not just take off somebody that you just brought on. So maybe showing a little bit of tactical inexperience. I don't know. It was just a very odd one. Amazes me too. I'm guessing that's about James. Absolute pace merchant. Hate the Welsh fool. James been very poor this season. James been a lot better recently. Still needs to improve that. Yeah, he has improved, but I just don't understand. Like I say, I just don't understand how he's playing for a side that's second in the league. You look at the two benches today. Chelsea have much better depth in numbers. Manchester United's bench today is Henderson, Alex Telles, Bailly, Williams, Matic, Van der Beek, Ahmad and Martial. I was expecting Martial to start today, but Big Ollie has opted for Greenwood to lead the line. Looking at Chelsea's bench, Kepa, James, sorry, no, I've got James, Zuma, Emerson, Alonso, Jorginho, Havertz, Pulisic and Werner. Now that's levels. That is levels. The Manchester United squad does not have the depth that the Chelsea squad does. But which side is second in the league? That's Manchester United. Chelsea have struggled under Lampard this season. They've been poor defensively before Thomas Tuchel coming in. He's really shored them up at the back. They've been solid, like I say, 3 clean sheets at home. He's reassured a solid identity that they've been lacking with Lampard. Thomas Tuchel's got a lot of experience of developing young players, and that is something that he's going to really want to do and take advantage of with this young Chelsea squad. And they've really improved with the counter press, which is something they're going to hope to capitalise on today. Of course, playing Manchester United, who are a side that want to sit back, soak up the pressure, and exploit on the counter attack. So that's something that we're going to see come to fruition today. We'll have to see about that one. Imagine if Bredman took off Willock after bringing him on QPR. Twitter going, yeah, 100%. Bredman. Cormac. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea, like I say, they've been good since Thomas Tuchel's come in, but they've got the wins that you'd expect them to have. They're beating Burnley, Sheffield United. They did beat Spurs, and they beat Atletico Madrid in the week. That one not so expected. But the tactics from Simeone in the week were very absurd. I just want to say we are just under 2 minutes now until we get underway in this tie. So make sure you get on there, hit the like button for the stream. If we look at the two form, the side. If we look at the form for the two sides, Chelsea picking up 14 points from the last 6 to Manchester United's 9 from 6. Manchester United drawing a lot more games than Chelsea, so Chelsea arguably on paper in the better form, but an away game at Stamford Bridge looks as though, if we're looking at past events, that it could play into the hands of Manchester United. Like I say, Chelsea are going to try and dominate this one from the first whistle, but we will see how this one unfolds. Very close to getting underway now. Both sides lining up on that Stamford Bridge pitch. Big game for Greenwood, big game for James. Can they come up trumps with the pressure of a big game like this? Looking as though Rashford will be on the left of Manchester United with James on the right. We're very nearly underway at Stamford Bridge. Bruno Fernandes will get us underway for Manchester United. Very sunny day in London. Right, we are underway at Stamford Bridge. Lindelof, long ball forward to the left-hand side, onto the head of Azpilicueta. Ziyech tries to be under control, but McTominay steps in for Manchester United. Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi combining and spreading that one over to Rudiger, just to Chelsea to calm themselves down, get some early possession. Over to Chilwell on the left-hand side. He comes back to Rudiger. Max, we are literally not even half a minute in yet, so we'll give you an update on that in just a second, mate. Going to be a Chelsea throw just near the halfway line on the right side. Hudson-Odoi will take that one over to Kante, back to Hudson-Odoi. Yeah, it's just started, mate. Ready to go over to Chilwell. There were some questions over Chelsea's formation coming into this one. Seeing the starting lineup, even myself and a couple other people did think that it was going to be diverting away from the back 5 for Chelsea to a back 4, but they have actually stuck with the back 5. Manchester United just getting themselves some early possession. Maguire over to Lindelof. Inside to McTominay. Back to Lindelof. Chelsea pressing very high. De Gea launching that one forward, but only as far as Christensen, who brings it down very nicely and hits it back to Mendy in the Chelsea net. Ball forward onto the head of Maguire, who heads it all the way down the pitch onto the chest of Rashford, combining with Greenwood. In comes Bruno Fernandes. He's tried to spread wide into centre of the pitch, but Chilwell steps up and intercepts. Ziyech sending Mason Mount. Really good ball forward. Mason Mount collects that one just on the edge of the 18-yard box. He creeps in, stood up by Lindelof. Ball to the back post, Giroud. Oh, very close to getting on that one. Olivier Giroud. Good ball in from Mason Mount. A good fast-paced attack from Chelsea, catching Manchester United out on the counter-attack. Fantastic ball in from Mason Mount towards the back post. A fantastic defensive header, averting danger from Luke Shaw. It's just a very slight flick, but it means Olivier Giroud cannot get on it. That could have been an early goal for Chelsea there, but good defending from Luke Shaw. He's in fantastic form this season. It's going to be a corner for Chelsea coming in from Manchester United's left side. Mason Mount will take this one with his right foot. He takes it short to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi tries to lay it back off for Mason Mount, but it's a very poor ball. Bruno Fernandes will shield that one out, and it'll be a Manchester United goal kick just 3 minutes into this tie. So what up with you guys? Get all your questions and comments. Get your feelings about this one in the comment section. I only want United to win 2 games per season. This is one of them. David, 4 games a season, Fulham and Chelsea. I think Giroud will bag one today. Do you reckon? Chelsea just got some possession on the halfway line. Really good over to Chilwell. Good pressing from Wan-Bissaka. Mason Mount steps in, but he's dispossessed by James. Mason Mount's just won it back though. Chelsea number 9 inside to Kovacic to Kante. Kante spreads it to the right hand side for Azpilicueta to press forward. He's got some space. He finds Ziyech in the middle, but he loses it. But Kante steps in over to Hudson-Odoi. Chelsea just going back into their own half. It's definitely looking as though Greenwood is playing number 9 for Chelsea. James on the right. Bruno Fernandes playing in the 10 behind Greenwood. And Rashford on the left. So Chelsea just trying to play out from the back. Kante lucky not to be dispossessed by Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United working hard, trying to win that ball back. And it's just gone out for a Manchester United throw just halfway in the Chelsea half. Is the other game you want United to win the reverse game versus Chelsea? Luke Shaw will take this throw for Manchester United to Rashford. Ziyech collects for Chelsea, looking to spur on this Chelsea attack. But he takes the pace out of it and lays it off to to Rudiger. To Chilwell. Chilwell just forced back by Wan-Bissaka to Rudiger. James pressing Rudiger there. Back to Mendy. 5 minutes on the clock here at Stamford Bridge. Mason Mount comes to get touch on the ball, but McTominay comes into the back of Mount. I didn't think there was too much in that. Mount goes down, but the referee has given a free kick to Chelsea. Christensen to Azpilicueta. Rudiger, great touch forward, stepping past James. He's burst past 5 Manchester United players. Rudiger's coming up to the edge of the 18-yard box. He's turned on attacker. It's a good ball in, but McTominay will block that low-driven cross. Rudiger just tearing the Manchester United defence apart there. Chilwell and Wan-Bissaka going in for a good 50-50 tackle. Chilwell's limping a little bit, but he'll be able to shake that one off. Fantastic run forward from Anthony Rudiger. What a run that was. What are you guys making of the first 6 minutes played at Stamford Bridge? If you're just joining us, get your predictions in for full time. Who do you think will come on top at the end of this one? Lindelof. So to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka plays the ball down the line to try and find James, but Chilwell intercepts to Mason Mount. James coming back to try and win the ball back for United, but he comes inside to Ziyech. Ziyech back to Mount, breaking the 18-yard box. Bruno stood up by Bruno Fernandes. He tries to get a shot off, but it's blocked by and defended well by Bruno Fernandes. Comes to Chilwell inside to Ziyech. Ziyech combining with Mason Mount. Good early combinations between the two. Bruno Fernandes breaking away from Manchester United sends a nice ball forward for Luke Shaw. But the referee's blown up. I'm not sure what for because it's not really shown on the screen there. It's a free kick for Manchester United. The referee's brought it back. He tried to play advantage, but the play didn't advance into United's favour, so he's going to pull that one back. Thoughts on Bale being finished? I mean, Bale coming up, Trump say that's 4 goals in 4 games. I've always backed him. I'm a big Bale fan, and that quality we all know he's got. It's just whether he can string a run of form together, and he's looked like he's starting to do that. So hopefully he can have a bit of resurgence in his form, carry it on towards the last stages of this season. Manchester United just mounting attack here, but Chelsea dispossessed and playing out from the back quite nicely. Kovacic inside to Kante. Kante, good ball forward to Ziyech. He's got a good bit of space in front of him. Bruno Fernandes is catching him up though. Ziyech into Giroud. Giroud's had an absolute howler of a touch and allows Manchester United to regain possession. Now, I was expecting Chelsea to be a little bit more assured in possession. We've seen Chelsea dominate games. Oh, Manchester United giving away possession very cheaply there. He's giving a Chelsea free kick. McTominay coming in the back of Chelsea trying to break very quickly. Mount steps inside. Not too many options around him though. He's going to try and find Ziyech on the left. He does. Ziyech sends Mount down the line. Stood up by Fred. Mount into Kovacic. It's to Kante. Ball coming in for Chelsea. It's a good ball in. Lindelof gets that one clear. It's going to be a Chelsea corner. Nearly on the brink of 9 minutes. Hudson-Odoi, some good work getting past Luke Shaw. He hits Maguire. Doesn't manage to get a touch. Neither does Giroud. But Lindelof is there to clear the lines for Manchester United. Not a very convincing clearance, but hits his knee and goes out for a corner. Chelsea have been the sharper of the two sides in terms of passing accuracy and ball retention. I was expecting Chelsea to have a little bit more of the ball in this early encounter. Manchester United have had more of the ball than I expected. Both sides not really mustering up too much problems for either side's goalkeepers. Manchester United just trying to break here. That's a foul. Hudson-Odoi on James. But the ball's sent forward for Bruno Fernandes for Rashford to chase up against Kante. The ball's bouncing. Rashford collects. He's got... Rashford sees Greenwood, who's got lots of space at the back post. He tries to put him through, but it's defended well by Chelsea and headed clear. Manchester United really epitomising what they can do to sides there. Bruno Fernandes, fantastic ball over the top. Kante struggles to deal with the bouncing ball. Can't get enough on it. Rashford, it's a great ball, but the header from Chilwell is fantastic. I said to you from the start, Manchester United will be looking to counter Chelsea. Chelsea didn't manage to do anything from the corner. And like I say, United collected the ball and nearly exploited Chelsea at the back there. Chelsea getting a little bit too clever. At least they're trying to play out from the back. Manchester United dispossess. Manchester United got a lot of good numbers here. Oh, that's fantastic from Rashford. From Greenwood, a good flick. But over to Rashford, who's in an offside position. As long as United win, I don't care. You ours. 34 minutes left of this first half. Chilwell trying to be clever and flick it on, but he's dispossessed. Manchester United winning the ball back quite high up the pitch, which is ball in from Rashford. It's over here, and it's going to be over, James. Callum Hudson-Odoi lets that one go out for a Chelsea throw. Kovacic with some nice, smart footwork. He comes inside for Mason Mount, who tries to do something similar to Ziyech there, but Fred dispossesses him. Fred working hard, bursting down the left-hand side, but Azpilicueta manages to get his foot in and clear the ball. It's going to be a Manchester United throw, about 15 yards away from the corner flag. Manchester United come inside to McTominay, off to Bruno Fernandes. He pulls the trigger, but it's blocked by Christensen. McTominay comes in with a very high boot, but he's caught Mason Mount, but he's given a Manchester United free kick. Now, to be perfectly honest, I thought that was going to be a foul on Chelsea. Maybe Mount came in with the studs up. McTominay comes in, studs up. Both go studs up. I think that's a foul on Chelsea, to be honest. I think that should be a Chelsea free kick. McTominay goes in hard and fast. Quite a distance out, but Manchester United have got some free kick specialists that can stand over this one. It's probably, 32 yards out? Who do you reckon's taking this one? Rashford, Bruno Fernandes. It's got to be Rashford, isn't it? We've seen Rashford put these ones in from these sort of areas. Yeah, you'd think so, Cormac. If United lose, surely City have won it. Well, they're now 10 points clear. If United lose today, you'd think so. Bruno Fernandes and Rashford standing over this one. It's got to be Rashford. He takes a straight run up. He hits it. No! It's on target. Mendy manages to save it. Azpilicueta clears it for Chelsea. Only as far as Bruno Fernandes, who flicks it on to Wan-Bissaka. Cute little flick from Wan-Bissaka, but only as far as Kovacic, who heads it to left-hand side for Chilwell. Chilwell looking to spur on a Chelsea attack. Lays it off to Mason Mount, who take the pace out of it. Comes inside to Kovacic. What's Mason Mount holding his head for? I'm still baffed how that was even a Manchester United free kick, but we move. I've got Jay Bakes in the building. I'm very well, thank you, mate. Thanks for jumping in the stream. Thank you for jumping in the stream. Please, everyone, drop it a like if you haven't done already. Chelsea must an uppercut. Ziyech has a shot. It's hard and low, but it's only just left at the David De Gea, and he gets down to that one very easily. It was a good effort from Marcus Rashford. Nice knuckle ball. They're appealing for... they're appealing for a penalty. Hudson-Odoi some contact on his hand from the ball that's pushed out from Mendy. Atwell is going to look over it on the screen. I think he's going to give that. Hudson-Odoi does get contact with his hand there. It's quite clear. He's going to give that. I think it's going to be a penalty for Manchester United. Greenwood is contesting the ball with Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi puts his hand up in a bit of a unnatural position. It's contact with the outside of his hand here. I think he's going to give that. Hudson-Odoi and Azpilicueta have gone right over to the referee. Here we go. Penalty. No, wait. Is he giving a penalty or not? He has. No penalty. God, the referee did not make that clear. What do you reckon? Was that a penalty or was that not a penalty? To be honest, it's contact with his hand. His hand's in an unnatural position. I don't see why it's not. Chazza attack. Cormac, I really don't care about Fulham. Who would you prefer to play next season if we're going for it? Fulham or Newcastle? What do you guys reckon? Was that a penalty or not? Max is saying it surely was a penalty. I don't see why it wouldn't be. If we're having consistency in the game, if there's contact on a hand with the ball, he's put his hand in an unnatural position. It's aided his control of the ball, really. There's arguably 2 touches on his hand. He's coming to control the ball and his hand's here. I think that's a penalty if you ask me. What do you guys reckon? Penalty or not? I think that is a penalty. Manchester United should be disappointed with that one. A little bit of early drama here at Stamford Bridge. Manchester United gets on with proceedings. Yeah, I don't understand. How is that not a pen? Neville's going on here on the comms about the lack of consistency. We have seen so many where balls are blasted at players from arguably about a yard away. It's contact with the hand and penalty given. That one, the ball's not hit at Hudson-Odoi's hand. The ball spins up, is coming towards Hudson-Odoi at no real pace. He puts his hand up in an unnatural position and it hits his hand. It's aided his control. For me, that's a penalty. Yeah, it's not the biggest contact, but if you're gonna stick to the rules, you're gonna play. You're gonna try and get some consistency in refereeing decisions. Then you got to give a penalty for that one. Chelsea scum paying the ref. What do you guys reckon? Get in the comments now. VAR in or VAR out? Now, for me, I don't like VAR. I understand why it's in place. But the thing for me, which I think is bullshit, excuse my language, is the offside decisions. For me, it should just be done, not by elbows, armpits, nose sticking out. It should simply be done by feet. If, for example, if this is the 2 feet, these remotes are the feet of the attacker, and this is the defender, and this is the attacker. If you do it by feet, you can easily see the position. This is the attacker, he's offside. Here, he's onside. Now, it shouldn't be done by if he's leaning over, because that just depends on the timing and the stride of the run. But it should simply be done by feet. If the attacker's feet is behind the planted foot of the defender, then it shouldn't be offside. That's my stance. Have some consistency. With the feet, you can simply have the same decision given every time. Not someone's nose or elbow or ear sticking out. For me, I think it's a load of crap. And now what kind of epitomises it for me is I wouldn't want VAR in the Championship. So I don't think VAR should stay in the game. That's just my opinion. What do you guys make on that? VAR in, just change, educate the people using it. Yeah, I think there is space for VAR in the game. But it's just like you say, how you use it. It's got to be used properly. There's got to be. You think, what is it? Is it the third now season of VAR or the second? It's at least the second. It might even be the third now, and we're still having these crap decisions. What do you guys reckon? VAR in or out? Chilwell tries to come inside. Great analysis. Wouldn't see that. No, I do doubt they'd probably get a couple of remotes and use it as a bit of an analogy. But for me, feet for offside is just how they should be given the decision. Anybody else agree? How else do you guys think they should be looking at the offside in terms of VAR? I don't know. That's just me thinking out loud. Bruno Fernandes takes a free kick from Manchester United, headed clear by Christensen. Maguire tries to find James on the right side, but it's well over here. Yeah, imagine Bobby's more at Wembley not given because he was offside by a mum. By a mum? By a MM. What's an MM? Given offside by an MM. Talking Rangers too good for Sky. Neville doesn't want this smoke. Manchester United. Greenwood. Dispossessed by Giroud, who collects, plays it to Kovacic. Trying to play out here. There's plenty of Manchester United numbers around. I think Chelsea's trying to get this ball clear, but Kovacic does fantastic to evade capture. Gets it to Kante, who hits it straight to Maguire though. But Mount steps in. He's going to try and play. Oh, it's a good ball wide to Hudson-Odoi. He's got Aspilicueta giving him option. He comes back to Hudson-Odoi on the inside. Hudson-Odoi hits it. Woo! Oh, right, Max, I got you. Millimeter. Sorry. Yeah. A good little counter-attack from Chelsea. Mount spreads it wide to Hudson-Odoi, uses the overlapping run of Azpilicueta, who comes back inside to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi takes a questionable touch, but it bounces up for him and sets him up for a volley. He pulls a shot quickly, but it's just about 5 yards wide of the post. Good chance for Chelsea, though. Yeah, I know what you mean. VAR, it's all about opinions, isn't it? But that's the problem. There shouldn't be that much room for opinions in a system that's been put in place to divert away from refereeing opinion and controversy. It should be a system that has consistency and stops this kind of controversy in the game. But if anything, it's added more controversy. So it needs work. It needs work, definitely. Yeah, it's a good point. Because you got the likes of, well, the thing is, Thomas Tuchel is playing this. However you want to say it. People say 3 at the back with 2 wing backs, and say it's a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3-4. You know, whatever. Whether you say 3 at the back or 5 at the back, nonetheless, it's 3 centre halves and 2 wing backs. Now, for me, Dan James. I'm losing my mind. James, I've forgotten his first name. Is it Dan James? I've completely forgotten. When he used to play for Wigan, Chelsea fullback. James. He's a very well-rounded wing-back. He goes forward well. He's got fantastic delivery. Manchester United just breaking down here. Wan-Bissaka getting some good space ahead of him. We'll come back to that point in just a second. Things are Chelsea that they try to play out from the back, but they have so many numbers back. They normally have dispossessed. Rashford collects, tries to find Bruno Fernandes. He plays the ball over the top for Rashford. Azpilicueta defends. Well, that's it. Reece James. We haven't got obviously Dan James United, but so I'm getting muddled up with my Jameses. Reece James, thank you. Reece James is. So it's very weird in terms of the England right back predicament. You got Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is fantastic at going forward. You got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who is fantastic defensively, and you got James that does both well. He's not fantastic at defending, he's not fantastic at attacking, but he does both very well, which is what you kind of want from your fullback, because in the system where you've got Azpilicueta, Rudiger and Christensen, all very good defenders, you want a lot going forward. And that's why kind of Thomas Tuchel has gone for Callum Hudson-Odoi, who is much more attacking. It just depends what balance you want in the side. Thomas Tuchel obviously he wants his fullbacks all-out attack. And Hudson-Odoi gives you that all-out attack. But like I say, James gives you that balance. And for me, Callum Hudson-Odoi is much more effective further up the pitch. But then that means that then you maybe have to take out Mount. You have to take out Ziyech. So it depends how attacking he wants to go. James obviously gives you that good balance. But who do you guys prefer? Get in the comment section now. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Trent Alexander-Arnold, or Reece James? Reece James. Who would you prefer to start for England in the Euros? Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Reece James, or Trent Alexander-Arnold? Kovacic got some possession with Chelsea in the centre circle. Not many numbers around him. Manchester United pressing him well. He comes over to Rudiger. Rudiger finds Chilwell. Mount, ball over the top. It's trying to find Ziyech, but it's overhit. Right, you guys saying Trent. I don't even know who I'd go for myself. It kind of depends on the system. If you go for say a 5 at the back with wing backs, then you got to go Trent. But if you go in a 4 at the back, a more conventional system where there's more defensive responsibility for the right back, then maybe Wan-Bissaka, maybe James. I don't know. But then, if you look at Liverpool's side, when they won the Premier League, Alexander-Arnold played in a 4 at the back. It's such a tough one. On paper, Trent's fantastic. I love Trent. I don't know. It's a very tough one. You look how strong we are at right backs, and then you look at left backs, and like Max has pointed out, it's quite bleak, isn't it? Luke Shaw, though, fantastic form for Manchester United this season. So arguably at the moment, he's our best left back. Chilwell's another good option. So hopefully one of those will come good for the summer. But I think who's your number one left back as well? Do you go Luke Shaw for England? Right, let's get back onto the game that we're actually doing the watch along for. Maguire's getting high up the pitch for Manchester United. He finds Rashford, but Rashford goes back to Lindelof in the centre of the field. Lindelof asking for a bit more movement in front of him. Greenwood steps into midfield to come get a touch on the ball, but back to Maguire. Maguire infield to McTominay. Rashford, ball down the line to collect. That's good defending from Christensen. It's going to be a goal kick. Now, if you guys are on Twitter, please go and follow CharlieW_OFCL. Go follow my Twitter page and retweet this stream. Massively helps out the channel. If you're new into the chat, what are you making of this game? Both sides not really having any clear-cut chances. Chelsea being quite resolute. Defensively, make it tough for Manchester United to break down. But Manchester United having more of the ball than I anticipated. Chelsea breaking away, dispossessing McTominay very well. Ziyech. Oh no. Callum Hudson-Odoi started wide on the right, but he's cut inside just as Ziyech sends the ball over the top, and he sends it right out of play. Miscommunication there. Ziyech sending him wide, but Callum Hudson-Odoi trying to cut inside. Now, it's quite interesting because I thought Chelsea would hold quite a high line and try to take the game to Manchester United. But in fairness, Manchester United have had the higher line. Chelsea are sitting quite deep. Maybe they're worried about sending numbers forward and being caught by the pace and the counter-attack of Manchester United. So interesting to see the possession stats. Ball forward flicked on. The header from Bruno Fernandes. James is working and trying to win it back off Christensen. Chilwell. See, Chelsea are very confident playing out from the back. Manchester United pressing well. And I'm calling it now. Chelsea are going to slip up and get dispossessed deep in their lines. Mendy. Oh, God, that's a... to Kovacic. This is the thing. Chelsea coming so deep to play the ball that when they do get the ball forward, they haven't got... Oh, no, that's really poor from Chelsea. Crossfield switch from Callum Hudson-Odoi. Rudiger's kind of left it for Chilwell, but Chilwell thought that Rudiger was having it, and she's gone straight out of play. Manchester United doing quite well on this one. I think I'd be quietly confident if I was a Manchester United fan right now. Who do you guys think has had the better early spells in this fixture? 29 minutes on the clock now. You see the timer in the top right. Just inside 16 minutes left of this first half. Lindelof going back to David De Gea. Thank you, Cormac, for sharing the tweet on Twitter. Please, if you are on Twitter, go drop a follow on the channel and give the stream a retweet. Are you going to be streaming the Euros? If so, that'd be class. Yeah, we'll do lots of content on the Euros. Don't you worry about that. We've got some videos planned coming up about looking at who we pick in each position for England, previewing some of the games. Is Southgate the man to take England forward? We'll have that all covered. Don't know how you can do another live stream after yesterday's game. It took a lot of energy. Yesterday was very depressing. But it's nice because there's just no emotion in this one. I can just sit back and just chat nonsense about football. So, yeah. My heart's not on the line for this one. Just want to sit back and watch some good football, hopefully. Come on, Hudson-Odoi got a throw for Chelsea. It's thrown, but it's hit straight back out for another Chelsea throw. Who's been in the Champions League and the Europa League, in your opinion? That's a good question, Jake. That's a good question. David De Gea passes it straight out to Olivier Giroud, a miss kick, but Giroud, another miss kick, with a horrendous shot on goal. Tomini lays it back to De Gea. It's nothing on that pass, so he shouldn't be able to. He shouldn't be miskicking that. Hits it straight to Giroud. Giroud takes a horrendous first touch. It bobbles up. Giroud shanks it with a half-hearted volley, and it's just miles over the bar. Thomas Tuchel does not look happy with that one. Going back to this question, I think Manchester United have got a very good chance of winning the Europa League. Probably a side that I'd back. I mean, Tottenham are doing well in the Europa League as well, so arguably one. I think it's those two sides have got a very good chance. Champions League is just open for the taking, isn't it? There's always twists and turns. Not too sure. Not too sure is my favourite for that. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Giroud, and there's all this stuff this week about how he's such an underrated player and he doesn't get the respect he deserves, but he's just not suited to this Chelsea side. I just don't think so. He's a player that, let's be honest, he's fantastic in the air, he's very tall, and he's very slow. Imagine him at a side that pumps balls in the box. You get a bags of goals. I just feel like it's time to maybe step down to a lesser club, and Chelsea are a side that want to dominate possession. He's good on the ball, don't get me wrong. He's got good quality, but he's getting on now. What is he? 34 maybe. I love watching Olivier Giroud over the years. He's a fantastic player, but I feel like he's just doing himself a disservice because he could be getting a lot more game time, a lot more respect. A club that would kind of thrive on utilising his best attributes. There, out to Wan-Bissaka, but Mason Mount pressing him very well. Mason Mount I think that's got to be a foul. Gets none of the ball and takes him down there, but he's gone out for a Manchester United throw anyway, or is he blown up for the free kick? He has. Bruno Fernandes over to Maguire. See, Manchester United taking the game to Chelsea, it's almost like a reverse of what a lot of people, and myself included, predicted. It looks as though Chelsea are trying to catch Manchester United on the break. But that's the thing. Can you really catch them on the break when you got Olivier Giroud at the focal point of your side? I mean, look, you can target him, and you can have Ziyech and Mount running off him, but they've kind of isolated Giroud. Ziyech and Mount have been quite wide. Excuse me. And kind of left him, but I say I've not seen one long ball forward for Giroud to bring down. So interesting approach to the game from Tuchel. Luke Shaw will take this corner for Manchester United, out swinging with his left foot. Can Manchester United mount an effort on goal? No, it doesn't be the first man. Antonio Kante gets that one clear for Chelsea. N'Golo Kante, that is. Luke Shaw taking his throw for Manchester United. Luke Shaw trying to drift inside, but defended well by Chelsea. Ziyech breaks past and leads off to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi's got three Manchester United players around him. He does well, comes back further back than anticipated, and comes back to Azpilicueta, who spreads it wide to Rudiger. Rudiger wide to Chilwell. Chilwell back to Christensen. Chelsea just getting a little bit more possession on the ball. But this is the thing. When you have five at the back and you have a front three, you're literally left with two in midfield. Just Kante and Kovacic. And when Chelsea get that ball, and when they win the ball back, that back five is so deep planted with quite a low line that Manchester United can just smother them in midfield. So for me, you can't have five at the back. And it's a good ball forward from Hudson-Odoi. The ball was quickly switched out by Antonio Rudiger. Callum Hudson-Odoi puts a fantastic ball into the corridor of uncertainty. Olivier Giroud nearly gets on it, but he's gone down with an injury. Fantastic switching ball from Antonio Rudiger. Luke Shaw is so slow to get out to Rudiger. It's lazy. Oh, Olivier Giroud, he's millimetres away from getting his head on that one. Cam Kirk going, it's got 0-0 written all over it. He's hit his arse on the post. Olivier Giroud in a little bit of pain. If you were, get in the comments now, if you were Chelsea manager, who would you start? Werner, Abraham, or Olivier Giroud? Get in the comments. Who's your go-to? Obviously, all three are kind of, it's a very mixed bag of strikers. You've got Werner, who arguably isn't an all-out number 9. He's probably better playing off somebody, or maybe in a number 10, or even on the wing. But he's a clinical finisher. He can get in behind, but he's not your out-and-out number 9. He struggled for goals this season, coming into a little bit of form. Would you go Abraham? He's a bit of an all-round player. Can do a bit of everything, a little bit more on the ball, a bit more of a focal point, but not as much pace. Or do you go Olivier Giroud, who is very good in the air, can be a bit more of a focal point as well, but he doesn't offer much mobility or press? Or who do you go for? I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? Oh, Rashford's absolutely clattered into the advertising boards there. There's a ball over the top for him to chase. Clattered into the microphone, and he sends himself over the advertising boards. Who did you guys go as your Chelsea striker? Who did you go for? Who would you go for? So the 7 minutes now of the first half remaining. Manchester United, especially on the edge of the 18-yard box. James, poor pass, and loses possession for Manchester United. But he nearly wins it back though, but Chilwell comes forward to United for Chelsea, sends the ball forward. Lindelof wins the header, but it's bounced down for N'Golo Kante. Bruno Fernandes dispossessed him though. Is he given a Chelsea free kick? Head injury to Ziyech. He's down. The medics are coming on. Lindelof's arm into the back of the head of Ziyech. Cam Kirk would start Tammy. I think he's their top scorer. I think with only 6 goals this season. Rumours they're going to go in big for Haaland from Dortmund as well. Manchester City are keen in the pursuit of the Icelandic striker. I'd probably go Tammy as well, to be fair. Interesting to see if he'll ever go for 2 up top with Werner playing off Tammy. Could be an interesting lineup, but yeah, for me, I think if Tammy was fully fit today, he'd have started. And of course, you have a bit of loyalty to Giroud, who got a good goal in the week against Atletico Madrid, who go 1-0 up in that Champions League tie. Ball fiercely contested, but Chelsea come away with the decision. As a Chelsea free kick, couple of sliding players coming in there, but Kovacic dances past the free midfield of Manchester United. Fantastic footwork, gets himself a lot of space. Chelsea forced back by Manchester United. I've been impressed with Manchester United. A bit underwhelmed by Chelsea. Let's have a look. Under Tuchel, Chelsea don't create much. There's no point going in for Haaland because all he does is score. Chelsea, like you say, have not created anything. Well, that's actually a bit of a lie. They put a fantastic ball in. And Giroud had a couple of chances. Bruno Fernandes, I'm not sure if that was a shot or a cross. It's been deflected, and it's going to be a Manchester United corner. Chelsea haven't created a lot. That's what I mean about this 5 at the back. It's a bit similar to QPR, but you can't have 5 at the back and 3 up front and just 2 in midfield. Because with that, you can't have creative players in centre park. You know, for Chelsea, they've got Jorginho on the bench, who's someone that keeps them ticking. and pulls the strings for Chelsea. That system, you can't have him. So, corner coming in, Luke Shaw, left foot, into a good area. Headed clear by Azpilicueta, I think. Bruno Fernandes. Ball over for Luke Shaw, but it's cut out by Azpilicueta, who reads it well and heads it clear. Only as far as Lindelof, who comes back to Fred. City would be absolutely incredible if they had Haaland to their squad. They'd be unbeatable. But City do show weakness, don't they? But they've been phenomenal this season. And they've pretty much won the league, haven't they? Pretty much won the league. Not long left in this one now. Greenwood, good ball inside to McTominay. Fred, switching ball over to Greenwood, who's come far on the right wing to say he's the focal point in the the focal point of Manchester United's attack. Rashford trying to break past Azpilicueta, unable to do so, but Maguire collects, bursts down the line. Hudson-Odoi, that's got to be a Chelsea throw. Hudson-Odoi comes in, tackles Maguire, but the ball ricochets off Maguire and back on Hudson-Odoi. It's going to be Manchester United throw. Luke Shaw will take this one for the Reds. Rashford to Lindelof. Lindelof will come wide to Wan-Bissaka. Inside to McTominay. James goes to the byline. Ball into the back post. What a ball! Bruno Fernandes tries to get his head on that one, but it's headed clear by Chelsea. Sure. Chris passing in midfield for Manchester United. Good tempo. Lindelof, ball over the top to find Bruno Fernandes. A fantastic. He heads it down to Rashford. It's going to be another corner for Manchester United. Manchester United looking good in the tail end of this second half, picking up some dominance, getting some momentum. Kante steps in the bouncing ball on Rashford and he hits it clear for a Manchester United corner. It's good awareness from Kante. Reads it well. This corner to be taken by Bruno Fernandes instead of Luke Shaw. The right foot of Bruno Fernandes will deliver this one in. In it comes. Ooh, Mendy came up punching for it, but Rudiger heads it clear. Fred lets that one go out for Manchester United throw. Just under 1 minute left now of normal time in the first half at Stamford Bridge. Wan-Bissaka will take the throw for Manchester United. If Manchester City get Haaland, they may as well be handed the title for the best 5 or 6 years. That's one thing they're sort of missing. Aguero's ageing. If they had Haaland, wow. I don't know, Harry, you alright, mate? Ball bouncing around in Chelsea's half. Chilwell wins the header. Giroud wins a flick, but he's won a Chelsea free kick. But I feel like he's kind of put his stud into the Manchester United player more than the United player into the Chelsea man. But they'll take that nonetheless. 5 seconds left of normal time. We'll see how much added time is added on to the first half here at Stamford Bridge. Two minutes will be added on to the half. Cross coming in from Chelsea, but De Gea collects that one pretty easily with not many Chelsea numbers in that Man United box. I don't think Chelsea send enough numbers forward. I really don't. I feel like they're sitting too deep. I'm looking forward to seeing this possession stat at half time because I thought Manchester United have had a lot of the ball, a lot more than we anticipated. Bruno Fernandes steps in when the ball's Manchester United. He hits it to Shaw. Comes inside, but it's just behind Bruno Fernandes. He's unable to collect that one. Martial lays it off to Greenwood. Greenwood pulls the trigger, but it's blocked. His ricochet can come out to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka bursting inside. He's not on his favoured left foot, so he goes back to Lindelof. Sorry, his favoured right foot. Wide to McTominay. Down the line to Hammers. Hammers got to try and return that to McTominay, but Rudiger steps in and wins the throw. He takes a quick one to McTominay, who's unmarked. But Kovacic does well to recover. McTominay managed to get a touch on it, but only as far. A little scruffle there with McTominay and Rudiger. They're both arm around each other, but they're pulling and scratching and having a little tug at each other. Ball with Mendy. Manchester United throw. Normally clear-cut chance in this first half. Manchester United arguably looking the better of the two sides. Maguire on to Fernandes, who goes wide to Rashford, breaking past Ray Fernandes. Shaw steps in. And that is half-time at Stamford Bridge. What did you guys make of that first half at Stamford Bridge? Not too much to talk about. Arguably, of course, we had the drama with the penalty that could have been for Manchester United. Contact on the hand of Hudson-Odoi. What did you guys make of that first half? We'll be back in just 2 seconds. Taking a quick break. Back in a second. Don't go anywhere. We'll have some halftime analysis and we'll get on to what changes I think need to be made at halftime. Get in the comment section what you think needs to change, who is the better side, and we'll discuss it all in just a second. Back with you in just a moment. All right then, we are back for some halftime analysis. Thank you to everybody who's in the stream. Very much appreciate the early support on this channel. What are you guys making of the content? It's like I say, it's very difficult. I know quite a few of you are from Talking Rangers. Thank you for sticking in with us. Fairly even half. Fred Trinder in the comment section. Thank you, Fred. Yeah, it's been a closely contested one. Arguably, Chelsea having the better chance. A good ball in from Hudson-Odoi after a good switch from Anthony Rudiger. Olivier Giroud millimetres away from getting a touch on it. But Manchester United have had much more a possession than I anticipated. Just want to quickly see what sort of possession was it for both sides in that first half, because it was close. Manchester United, honestly, I thought, and a lot of people did as well, that Chelsea would simply take the ball to Manchester United, take the game to them. But like I've been saying throughout, two in midfield, they've been unable to do so. Just want to see interested to see the stats at half time. We'll just quickly run through those. Let's have a look. Okay, so possession, 51% for Chelsea, 49% for Manchester United. Now that is very surprising. Manchester United, much more on the ball. Passes, 251 passes to Manchester United's 243. Passing accuracy for Chelsea has been higher, 87%. Manchester United's 80. 2 corners for Chelsea compared to 3 for United. Only 1 shot on target for both sides. So look what you guys are saying in the comment section. I think United need to bring on Cavani as a target man. Cavani is not on the bench. The only other striker they have in this half. On the bench is Anthony Martial. So yeah, Cavani, I think he's a bit short of some match fitness, so he's not on the bench for this one. First goal was key, I think. I completely agree, Max. Quite boring so far, to be fair. Hopefully the teams go at each other a bit more in the second half. Yeah, both a little bit reserved. Manchester United have had, like I've been saying, more possession than I expected, but they haven't really utilised that too much. And the thing is, Manchester United, that they want Chelsea to come at them and exploit them on the counter-attack. Maybe Chelsea have set up to not allow them to do that. They've sat deep, and they're forcing Manchester United to break them down, and they've been unable to break them down, and hence haven't really mounted any good efforts on Mendy in the Chelsea net. I don't know what you make of that handball, but I think he made the correct decision. Interesting. For me, that was probably a penalty. It just divides opinion, doesn't it? It's a tough one. But if you want consistency, his hands in an unnatural position. The ball's not hit at him. The ball's, it's ricocheting and it's coming up. He's got a good sight of it, and his hands are up here in an unnatural position. There's contact with his hand. It's aided his control. For me, that is a penalty. I predicted 1-1. I said Chelsea would get a goal towards the end of the second half, towards the end of the first half. I wasn't correct. Of course, Manchester United had a couple of chances. They had the free kick from Rashford. It could arguably have had a penalty. It's been a little bit cagey. Both sides just sort of cancelling each other out in this first half. They're showing this penalty, this supposed penalty again. I think it's penalty, to be honest. I think it's a penalty. A couple of the pundits on Sky Sports saying it wasn't a penalty. You guys do. What are you guys saying? Harry saying not a penalty. What changes would you guys make in the second half? Let's just have a look at those lineups again. Do you reckon Drew will come off in the second half? I think he probably will. I think Drew will come off in the second half. I think Martial will probably come on for James as well. Later in the game, James has had no real impact. Been cancelled out quite well by the Chelsea defence. Just looking at the options, I really like the bench for both sides. Henderson, Alex Telles, Bailly, Twanzebe, Williams, Matic, Van der Beek, Ahmad and Martial. Who do you think Manchester United bring on? Who should they bring on to try and bring a little bit more firepower and break down this Chelsea side? Quite resolute in defensive, but they've got 5 at the back and they're sitting quite deep, so it's to be expected. I think Martial will come on in the second half, and I think Werner will come on and replace Olivier Giroud. That's my predictions. What do you guys think will happen to both sides in the second half? It was a fantastic ball from Hudson-Odoi. Olivier Giroud was so close to getting on that. It's the best chance of the game so far. Werner could be a good impact sub. Same with Martial. Now, for this sort of game, I wouldn't normally have said Werner. But with the way this game's set up, Manchester United have got a higher line than we anticipated. And Chelsea look as they're trying to catch Manchester United on the counter-attack. So with Ziyech, Werner and Mount, they can break much quicker than with Giroud. So I think that's going to be the best option if I was Thomas Tuchel. Funnily enough, I don't have that sort of power, but I think Werner would be a good... He's coming into a bit of form. He's got a bit more confidence. He's going to improve himself in this big game. Werner could be a good impact sub, same as Martial. Yeah, I think James not really cutting it. So yeah, Martial I'd bring off for James. Would you change him on midfield for Chelsea? In fact, they haven't really made that much in midfield. Would you bring on Jorginho? Look at the Chelsea bench. Kepa, Reece James, Zuma, Emerson, Alonso, Jorginho, Havertz, Pulisic and Werner. Pulisic and Havertz, both good attacking options. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Not quite the exciting game we maybe had anticipated. I don't know why this counter's going. Who do you guys are finishing the top 4 as well? Do you think West Ham and Leicester will still be in there come the end? Obviously, it's going to be Manchester City and Manchester United pretty much. Near enough nailed on as the top 2. I mean, they could still drop out Manchester United on the same points as Leicester. What actually was the Leicester Arsenal score? I didn't see it in the end. Busy setting up for this. Arsenal winning 2-1. Let's have a look. What was the final score? Wow. Leicester dropped points today. Dropped 2 points. 3-1 Arsenal. Opens up a little bit more for Chelsea. West Ham going to still be in there come the end of the season. What an unbelievable season they've had. And I really think West Ham, the owners, have got to put their hands in their wallet and fund this site and back the manager, because look what he's done. Look what he's done. They're going to go all out on there and try and get Jesse Lingard. I could see him going there. You know, he's resurrecting his career. Was looking out of it at Manchester United, so why not? Moyes has been sensational. He has been sensational for West Ham. Unbelievable. It's just mad, isn't it? They're fourth. They're fourth in the Premier League. They're still kicking on now, and it's not by any fluke. We're 25 games into the season. It's not the first 8 games. 25 games in, West Ham are fourth in the Premier League. You've got to take your hat off. You got to take your hat off to them. They've been unbelievable. City, Leicester, United, and Liverpool. So Harry is predicting West Ham to drop out, and Liverpool to make a late surge and get in there. You can't write off Liverpool. You can't write them off. They got the quality. Yes, they're badly out of form. Confidence and morale is low, but they're former Premier League champions. If anyone can do it, they do have the quality to do it. Just need some individual brilliance just to get a little run going. And once you win a couple and that fourth spot's in sight, I'm sure anything's capable. What else are you guys thinking? For me, so wait a minute. Harry's actually predicting Chelsea not to make it. Are you not convinced by Thomas Tuchel? I'm not sure I am just yet. I think he's going to be a good manager going forward. But the thing is with Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel, what's going to want to install his philosophy. He's already given them more of an identity. But we all know at Chelsea, you don't really get that long. You don't get long enough. He's probably going to be there 12 to probably 16 months. That's all they're going to give him. And thing is as well, if you look at Thomas Tuchel, you look at his kind of history and the clubs he's been at. He's fallen out with the board a lot of clubs. He can get quite hot-headed. He can get frustrated. And not really down to footballing reasons, but to non-footballing reasons. And if you'd say any board / owner in world football that's volatile, that makes rash decisions, and doesn't have the best manager-owner relationship, that's Abramovich. He's at the worst club, arguably, for that. It's interesting how it's going to unfold. Very interesting. Like I say, the Tuchel-Abraham relationship is going to really be an interesting one. See how that unfolds in the next 18 months. So what you guys say in the comments. Harry is not liking Thomas Tuchel. I'm not convinced just yet. I haven't watched loads of Chelsea yet. I've watched bits. I've watched the game in midweek. I watched the game with Southampton. And Southampton, you know, did quite well in that game. And Southampton haven't been too amazing this season. And they kind of highlighted a couple of weaknesses and flaws in that Chelsea side. Lampard's style of play is very different, so it may take time to adapt 100%. Big managers, they want to install a culture, they want to install a philosophy and a clear identity. You can't do that in a couple games. I feel as though they're actually going to vert away from this 3 at the back and 5 at the back. 3/5 at the back. I feel like they're going to They're going to eventually move towards a 4 at the back system because you can't dominate midfield like they haven't done here. They have not dominated the midfield against Manchester United, who are a side that were near enough let them do it. So interesting. Best team in London, West Ham at this point in time. It's true. They're the highest London club in the league standings. West Ham had an unbelievable season so far. I just hope that the Moisey gets the backing come the end of the season, because they've showed what he's capable of. Is he going to be able to do it again next season? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't know whether they'll hang it out there and end up in the top 4. But even so, maybe get Europa League. That's monumental for West Ham. Jay Allen coming in, that was a penalty. I think it was a penalty. I think it was. Tuchel was a racist, right? But I've talked about it a lot in the first half, so I won't bring it up for about the 7th time. But I do think that was a penalty. Hudson-Odoi coming off for Chelsea. James coming on. This is just adding more to the saga. We heard that the kind of dispute they've had in the week, Thomas Tuchel and Hudson-Odoi. What player in the Premier League is going to accept being humiliated by being brought on and then brought off again not long after? Supposedly they've got their relationship back on track and Tuchel has apologised to Hudson-Odoi, but he's taken off Hudson-Odoi at half time. He's obviously not happy with what he's bringing to the game. Reece James is going to come on for Chelsea. Players coming back out for the second half now. Just hearing what they're saying. Glenn Roeder. I don't know Glenn Roeder myself. Apparently he's just passed away. Rest in peace. Coach and past England coach as well. Big club, so rest in peace to Glenn and his family. Maguire and Lindelof only look good this half because Giroud isn't quick. Yeah, Giroud's flattered the two Manchester United centre-halves. I thought Chelsea, if they want to get anything from this game, they've got to take off Olivier Giroud. I've got respect for him. I think he's a good player. But he's just playing into the hands of Manchester United. I reckon we'll get ruined at the back if they bring on Werner. This is what I was highlighting. I think Manchester United need to bring on Martial for James, and Chelsea need to bring on Werner for Giroud. I think both sides are going to try and up the ante a little bit and go for it in the second half, because this game is there for the taking for both sides. I think Chelsea need a little bit more in midfield. Possession so fiercely contested in the first half, 51 to Manchester United's 49%. He can always pop up with a goal though. It's true. It is true. Just confirmed, Reece James has come on to replace Callum Hudson-Odoi. We are underway again for the second half at Stamford Bridge. Dan James hasn't actually been awful. No, he hasn't. But the ball's just hit straight at the referee. He's blown up what I'm guessing is going to be a drop ball. He hasn't been awful. This is the thing. He's not an awful player. He's just not a top 4 Premier League player. He's someone who should be at like Palace or something. Do you know what I mean? He's just not a top 4 player, which isn't a dig at him. It's just there's levels to the game. You don't put him in the same sentence as Martial and Rashford, but he is, because Manchester United trumped up the money for what they thought was a promising youngster. But I don't really get it because he's not that young. He's 24. He's only had experience in the Championship. He's a good player. He's arguably just a good squad player for Manchester United. He just shouldn't be starting games against Chelsea, but they don't have the depth in their squad. But they're proving their worth in their second. Oh, hold on a minute. Callum Hudson-Odoi's got ice wrapped around his hamstring. He's injured. He's injured. Maybe it wasn't tactical. Maybe their relationship is still intact, and it was simply a decision based on Hudson-Odoi coming up with an injury. So we'll have to see about that one and what Reece James brings to this one. He's meant to be going to Leeds, I think. That would suit him better. Yeah, that's the sort of level he's at. He was at Leeds. He literally was holding the shirt with Dan James at Leeds. Probably would have been a better career progression for him instead of straight into the deep end of Manchester United. But fair play to him. Ballsy decision. He started well. He's faded out a little bit, but there's levels to this game. Right, we're back in the second half. Ziyech tries to find Mason Mount, but Luke Shaw collects that one. Maguire, good ball forward with his weak foot to find Rashford, but Rashford's unable to bring it under control. Azpilicueta is forced to go back to Mendy in the Chelsea net. Are we going to see one side up the ante and go for it in the second half? It's been quite tame for both sides. Olivier Giroud just getting a touch of the ball. Finding Kante. Over to Kovacic. I think Kovacic had a decent first half. See, even Rudiger here. Just a lack of urgency from this Chelsea side. That's what the tempo hasn't quite been there for me. Manchester United probably offered him double. Yeah, they did. Let's be honest. It was basically a done deal. But Manchester United intervened, and can you blame James for wanting to go there and get a big payday? Why not? Chelsea doing well. Chilwell breaking on the left-hand side. No one going over to him. Giroud. Oh! Ziyech hits the post. Over to James. Oh, he's blocked by Luke Shaw. What a block from Luke Shaw. I'm pretty sure that hit the post. James is going to try and deliver this one. But it's blocked off Luke Shaw, and De Gea will collect. Finally, we see the best chance of the game there. Ziyech inside of his left foot. Bends round, beats De Gea, and hits the post. Chilwell, fantastic run. Poor from Lindelof. Doesn't even get over. Oh no, sorry. Does not hit the post. But De Gea saves it. In real time, the kind of sound that it made sound like the post. But, Ziyech. He hits it cleanly, but he's too close to the keeper. He hits him on the wrist there, De Gea. Strong arm to keep that one out. The ball bounces back out for Reece James, who has a shot. He collected himself and pulled the trigger, but Luke Shaw sliding across. Fantastic blocks. It's the best chance of the game so far. Ziyech, we know Ziyech has a quality. Yeah, he was at Ajax. He did really well there, but that wasn't just domestically. He did it really. He performed on the biggest stage in the Champions League, and no wonder Chelsea came up trumps to sign him. He hasn't really hit the heights this season for Chelsea. He hasn't done an awful lot in this game. Good positioning there to get himself that chance and a good shot on target, but not enough to beat David De Gea. Rest in peace. Glenn Foden managed Newcastle and West Ham. He played for QPR and a few other clubs. Rest in peace. I haven't actually heard that name before, so I should know if he's played for QPR. But rest in peace. Thoughts go out to him and his family at this tough time. I think it's breaking news. It must have just been it's come out also in the last hour. It's coming up on Sky Sports. But yeah, definitely thoughts out to him or to his family, of course. Kante spreading the play to Rudiger. There's a problem. Chelsea, they break through. Kovacic there. Giroud's dropped to try and get on the ball. Oh, it's just poor. Reece James has gone down, and he spread the play to try and get Reece James at the end of it, but it's just gone straight out of play. Chelsea just don't really seem to know what they're doing in midfield. That's why the likes of Jorginho, I feel, is influential to Chelsea. He keeps them ticking. Everything goes through him. He distributes the play well. And it's kind of meant that Giroud then, for example, you want Giroud to be a focal point. You want players playing off Giroud. But Giroud's had to drop deep to try and get a touch on the ball. Oh, Rashford lost the ball there. Giroud. Ziyech clashes into Giroud, but Giroud still manages to get it over to James. Kante. Azpilicueta. Back over to James. Good ball from James into Kante. And they'll spread the play to the left side. No. When he got up to go back to the right for Azpilicueta. Chelsea having a little bit more this possession that we anticipated. Manchester United not... Fred does well to step in there, win the ball back. Rashford's going to look to break. Not too many players for Manchester United though to support him. It's a fantastic ball to reach to Dan James. He'll lay it off to Greenwood. No, he's not. He's going to pull the trigger, and it is blocked. It's going to be a Manchester United corner. Corner for Manchester United. It's a good ball from Rashford. A fantastic touch from Dan James. But Wan-Bissaka should have been doing a little bit more to offer that diverting run on the right there, overlap him, and then it allowed other Manchester United players to get forward and kind of support the attack. But Dan James is kind of forced to pull the trigger there. A few Chelsea players in front of him, so it was always going to be blocked. But a corner for Manchester United. That's the thing. That Wan-Bissaka is so defensively minded that he's not seen that run forward there. He's half-heartedly jogged and not offered the overlapping run for Manchester United to exploit. Corner for Manchester United. Luke Shaw will take this one. In swinging. Headed away by Olivier Giroud. Fred tries to play it forward, but Chelsea are breaking away now. Poor ball that has sent Kovacic wide and taken all pace out of the attack. But Ziyech has got it on the right flank for Chelsea. He takes it inside of Bruno Fernandes. He's going to look to pull the trigger on his left foot. That's a fantastic block from Fred. The rebounded ball is headed away by Lindelof, but only as far as Chelsea. But Manchester United win the ball back, but they're giving away it again. Kante over to Mount. Mount wide to Chilwell. Chelsea lucky there. It's an inaccurate passing, but they still managed to get the ball under control. Back in possession with Azpilicueta. That's shocking from Azpilicueta. The balls that have been sent over to Reece James have been abysmal. Let's have a look what you guys have been saying in the comments. We're thinking Chelsea might score first. I don't know. It does have 0-0 written all over it, but I've got a feeling Manchester United are going to score, you know. I don't know, I've just got a feeling. Man United can be very dangerous on the counter-attack. Yeah, that's the point I'm kind of reiterating. It's a good ball forward. Manchester United, Dan James trying to mount a charge to get hold of that one, but Mendy collects and rolls out to Chilwell, who's got loads of space. And this is the thing, Manchester United now is sitting back more in the second half as to kind of juxtaposing what they did in the first half. I kind of got more out and up Chelsea, held a higher line, but now Manchester United look quite happy to sit back. Maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has told them to let Chelsea bring it to them and try and play into the hands of what they've been doing well earlier in the season. But now Chelsea are dominating more of the ball in this second half, which is what we anticipated from the start. Chelsea just won a corner. Giroud trying to get past Lindelof, but Lindelof hits out for a Chelsea corner. So we'll look at the possession stats now. Yeah, sort of reiterating, Chelsea growing in their possession 57 to Manchester United's 43. Take it short though to James. Towards the back post, ball comes in. As Rashford will let that one out and it will be a Manchester United throw. Callum Hudson-Odoi definitely injured. The second half possession, here we go. 80% Chelsea and 20% Manchester United. That's the point I was getting at there. Chelsea's dominance in their possession has really grown. Manchester United, McTominay giving the ball away cheaply there, but he steps back in and wins it for Manchester United. Luke Shaw got space on the left-hand side to mount a charge, but Ziyech gets over well. He comes inside, but back out again and back inside. Not many options ahead of him. He's not happy with the lack of options there. Lack of movement from Manchester United. Maguire spreads it wide to Wan-Bissaka. Again, he's asking for players to come short, but he sends it over to Dan James. He's made a great run. He stood up. He's offside. I thought he was, but I'm so used to watching loads of Championship football where you don't get VAR, where, of course, the linesman in the Premier League will wait to aloft their flag in case it was not offside. But it was offside. Chelsea take the free kick quickly. Rudiger launches the ball forward, but McTominay will win that header. He tries to head it down for Bruno Fernandes, but Chelsea collect. Kante over to Christensen. Finally, a ball to James that he's actually able to collect. Sends the ball down for Mason Mount. A good ball. Mason Mount, good little chop to beat Fred. But he tries to send James out on the right side, but it's blocked by Fred. But Kovacic Back in possession, sent it to Chilwell. Chilwell puts the ball in. Maguire heads it clear. But Chelsea back in possession. What have you guys made of the early encounters of the second half? Chelsea definitely more dominant on the ball. Manchester United happy to sit back and soak up the pressure. Do you think Manchester United to make a change? Whether they maybe add a little bit more pace in the attack, bring on Martial to sort of help the prospect of catching them on the counter attack and kind of hurting Chelsea. Good ball for Reece James. He brings it down, a good ball in. Fred blocks it and Shaw heads it clear. Chelsea really taking the ball to Manchester United at the moment. I mean, this is what Tuchel would have wanted from the start. Tuchel would definitely be happy with how Chelsea come out in the second half. Maguire clears, but only as far as Azpilicueta. Manchester United struggling to clear their lines at the moment and regain possession. They're just hitting straight back into the path of Chelsea and then inviting pressure back on them. Chilwell back to Rudiger. Rudiger over to Azpilicueta. Inside to Mount, who finds James. Back into Mount. Oh, Kante is just... Oh, he's done well there to keep the ball, though. He'll find... He's going to pull the trigger. It's a low-driven shot, not too much power on that. It's blocked. Fred finds Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka does well to divert away from Chilwell. He finds McTominay on the inside. Better from Manchester United, looking to actually play out instead of boot the ball. Here we go. Counter-attack. Oh! Bruno Fernandes. He breaks away. Fantastically past his Chelsea counterpart. He hits it into the channel for Marcus Rashford to chase. It was a 3-on-2. But the ball was over here and it's gone out of play. And Rashford and Manchester United weren't able to capitalise on a quick break for Manchester United. That is what Manchester United need to do if they want to get something from the game. Manchester United won it back here again though. But Kante steps in. Tackles Bruno Fernandes, but they keep the ball. Here, Greenwood pulls the trigger! Oh, that looked close on camera, but I feel like that was further away than it looked. Greenwood collects. He just passed. Kante lays off a little 1-2. Oh, that's close. It's a yard away. Probably, half a yard wide of the left post. He beats Mendy. That's close. It's a good effort from Greenwood. He's been quiet in that first half, been quiet in the early stages of the second half. But it's a good effort. Keeper was beaten there. Just half a yard on the wrong side of the post. Dan James for Chelsea, deep in the Chelsea lines. Blocked. Bruno Fernandes steps in and blocks Kante's attempted clearance. It'll be a Chelsea throw. Manchester United combining well with some fast passing. Fred on the edge of the 18-yard box. He cuts back past Kante. A lovely little roulette. Lays off to Rashford. Manchester United got numbers here. Shaw is should put a ball into the box. He does! Oh, goes past everyone but Wan-Bissaka. Takes a heavy touch. Lays off to McTominay! It's saved by Mendy on the front post. Good effort from McTominay. But Chelsea just managed to clear their lines. Manchester United are very dangerous on the counter-attack. That's a really good ball for Rashford. The overlapping run from Luke Shaw. A fantastic low-driven cross on the front post. Good effort from McTominay. Good save from Mendy. Manchester United have come alive. After from some dominating spells from Chelsea. It's going to be a free kick for Manchester United. A late foul on Greenwood from Chilwell. Chilwell getting into the book for that one. It's near the corner flag, so near enough be a corner. From Manchester United's right-hand side. Greenwood hits it, just chips it over Greenwood. Greenwood chips it over Chilwell, but Chilwell comes sliding in and taken out. His Manchester United counterpart. Bruno Fernandes will deliver this one in for Manchester United. His right foot will be used to try and muster up an effort on goal for Manchester United. Ball comes in. Doesn't beat the first man. Chilwell heads it clear. But Luke Shaw will put a ball in. Again, doesn't beat the first man. Headed away by Aspilicueta this time, but it still comes out to Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes, another ball coming in. A better one this time, but it only comes out to Rashford. Ay. You've seen him put that one in the far post so many times. He cuts in with his right foot. Not enough bend on it. And collected easily for Mendy. His touch kind of lets him down. He doesn't let it out of his feet. It's stuck right underneath his feet, meaning that he can't divert it far enough away from the goal, and it's straight down the neck of the keeper. Just over 27 minutes left of this tie. It's definitely livened up in the second half. Some dominating possession from Chelsea, but Manchester United still looking a threat in the counter-attack. Chelsea trying to break away here. Mount breaking through. A counter-attack themselves. He's on the 18-yard box. He should pull the trigger now. He cuts back. Oh, it's a fantastic run from Mason Mount. Shot from Chilwell, but it's blocked by Olivier Giroud, who looked in an offside position. He was. This game is definitely opening up. Fantastic 1-2 from Mount and Ziyech. Mount is breaking through into the 18-yard box. He knows that McTominay is always going to block that shot. As soon as he pulls the trigger, he's going to come sliding in. So he does well. He cuts back with a little chop very cleverly on his left foot. But when he does that, he closes down the angle, and he's always going to favour his right foot there. So he still pulls the trigger on his right foot when he really should have done on his left foot. The shot was saved. And Manchester United get that danger away. Luke Shaw charging down the left for Manchester United. Mount is good little cut back from Shaw for Rashford, but it's intercepted. Pulisic is going to come on for Chelsea. Who do you reckon Pulisic is going to come on for? I'm calling Ziyech. Oh, it's a fantastic ball from Luke Shaw onto the head of James. He wins it. He heads it down for Greenwood. Greenwood gets it wide for Wan-Bissaka. Inside. Chip ball over from Bruno Fernandes. Sure. McTominay is going to pull the trigger, but it's blocked by Anthony Rudiger. Fred to James. James to Wan-Bissaka. McTominay should deliver this in. He doesn't. He gives it inside to Fred. Manchester United being quite patient in their attack. I say that, but they launch the ball forward to the left side. Pulisic coming on for Chelsea. Olivier Giroud is coming off. Interesting. And we're going to have Mason Mount playing as a false nine. Who's going to lead the line for Chelsea? I feel as though you're probably going to see Ziyech and Pulisic playing on the wings for Chelsea with Mason Mount in a false nine. Pulisic, I'm hearing, is actually going to play up front. Interesting. Bruno Fernandes, lofted ball to Wan-Bissaka, brings it down well and comes inside McTominay, who can't get past Rudiger, who's going on another one of his charging runs. He lays it off to Kovacic on the left, but it's dispossessed well by Dan James. Ball inside for Chelsea. Kante goes wide to Aspilicueta and finds Reece James, I beg your pardon. Mason Mount retains possession. Chelsea just getting their dominance back again now, taking the game to United. They're deep in the United half. Christensen, good ball wide to Chilwell. Chilwell's had a good game today, I feel. Inside to Ziyech, but Ziyech is unable to get on the end of it. It is interesting. It looks now, I suggested Mount would play false nine. Sky Sports was suggesting that I mean, here we go. Manchester United breaking. Rashford getting towards the byline. He comes back inside to Greenwood. He lays it. Oh, good touch from Shaw. Fred's going to pull the trigger. Oh! Oof. Fred, a bending shot with the inside of his right foot. It looked like it was going goalwards. I don't know how far that was away. It looked close on camera. This angle will tell us. He eats it cleanly. It just bends back in too late. Sky Sports was suggesting that that Pulisic would lead the line through the centre, but it's actually looking like Ziyech, who's the more central of the three. Bruno Fernandes, another park for United. Finds Wan-Bissaka. He tries sending Chilwell on the outside. Is he going to be able to get the ball in? No, he's not. Chilwell defending well there. Stops the ball coming in. It'd be Manchester United throw. Wan-Bissaka will take that one. Wan-Bissaka throws it in for James. I feel like it's time to mix up a little bit. I think Martial, his firepower would help Manchester United. That quality in front of goal. I feel like it's a change they need to make. Manchester United just having a bit of possession themselves now, being quite patient in the build-up. Wan-Bissaka to James. James cutting inside. Good tackle from Chelsea as he danced past quite a few Chelsea players before getting stopped. Chilwell tries to turn away from Dan James, but Dan James catches him. It's going to be a Chelsea free kick just inside their 18-yard box. Manchester United bring the game to Chelsea now. McTominay, ball forward for Dan James. It's way over hit and virtually impossible for Dan James to have any hope at controlling. James inside to Zuma. Sorry, Zuma? Not Kante, sorry. Mount. Alright, that's just a blatant free kick. Greenwood's just put his arms around Mason Mount to try and stop him. It's a poor ball from Mason Mount. Cut out well by Wan-Bissaka. Referee played advantage. Dan James bursting past two Chelsea players. Not many numbers around him though. Needs to find a good ball to Bruno Fernandes, but Christensen steps in. What do you guys reckon? Who's going to come on top at the end of this one? It's opening up now. Ziyech ball over for Pulisic to chase. Manchester United cut it out. It's coming out. There's loads of space in midfield, both sides. As soon as they get the ball in that midfield, they can charge forward and mount a counter-attack for themselves. Definitely opening up in this second half. Both sides wanting to get the victory. As Palaqueta. Good ball into the channel for Pulisic. I thought he might have been offside. But no flag just yet. Reece James. Inside to Kante. Kante switches it over to Rudiger. Mason Mount bursting through, trying to get away from Lindelof and Fred there. He overhits it and it's going out for a Manchester United goal kick. What changes do you think need to be made to either side to try and get anything from this game? Just over 18 minutes left. Not long now. I feel like both sides need a change. Ball forward for Rashford to chase, but Reece James collects and gets it over to Mendy. after some heavy pressures. He does well there. Chilwell comes inside to Kovacic. Kovacic swings, pivots and gets past Dan James, sorry. Keep on getting my James mixed up today. Reece James down the line for Mason Mount. Comes inside to Dan James. Reece. These James are getting the better of me today. Jesus Christ. Chelsea, a lot of possession in the middle of the park. Struggling to get into their final third to break down Manchester United. It's kind of been the story of the afternoon. Christensen, long switching ball wide to James. Reece James this time, I've got it right. Inside to Ziyech. Ziyech lays it off. It's a good effort! Ooh, first time shot for Kovacic from quite a distance out, but saved well down by David De Gea, down to his left. Good effort from Kovacic. But it's a good height for David De Gea to catch that and get down quickly to it, so it's not going to cause De Gea too many problems. McTominay sometimes, again there, holding on to it for a little bit too long. Someone needs to just give him a man on shout because he's been dispossessed a couple of times. And it is a dangerous area to pitch to give that ball away. Chelsea mounting an attack for themselves through Reece James. Comes inside well to Ziyech. Ziyech lays it off to Kovacic. Chilwell's going to put the ball in for Chelsea. But Maguire heads it clear. And to Kovacic. Sorry, Ziyech who brings it down well. Aspilicueta has a shot. But there's no power in that. That's not a problem for Mendy in the Chelsea net. Werner is going to come on for Chelsea. Fred breaking through the Chelsea midfield. He's off to Rashford. He's got Bruno Fernandes overlapping him. But he opts to come inside for Luke Shaw. On to Fred. Comes inside for Fred again to Greenwood. Greenwood goes all the way back to Lindelof. Manchester United need to up the tempo here. They keep position well though. James is going to take on Rudiger. Tries to get the ball in. It's a good ball in, but Mendy slipped it, but he's managed just to collect it again. Woof. That was a close one. It was a good ball from Dan James. But Greenwood doesn't read it quite quickly enough, doesn't get in front of his marker. You need that clinical instinct there, that awareness to be able to read that ball and beat your man. But Chelsea collect and regroup and they go again here. Reece James. Possession for Chelsea. Aspilicueta. Werner will come on for Chelsea. Yet to be seen who will come on replace. I feel like it could be Ziyech. Pulisic. Bursting past Lindelof. He puts the ball in, just manages to keep it from going off, but straight to Maguire. McTominay, good ball for Greenwood. Greenwood, a fantastic touch to bring in James. James is fouled, but he finds Fernandes. It is, but it's not. It looks like there could be a late goal. I don't know, but a 0-0 would not surprise me. Would not surprise me. Called it. Ziyech will be replaced by Werner for Chelsea. Timo Werner will replace Hakim Ziyech for Chelsea. Hoops home. It's been boring, hasn't it? It's not really been as exciting as maybe we'd have anticipated. Martial coming on for Manchester United. Off for Mason Greenwood. Interesting. I was saying Manchester United need to bring on Martial. Maybe that yawn epitomises the game that we've just sat through this afternoon. He's got a good record, Anthony Martial, versus Chelsea. So we'll see if he's able to materialise on that and add another goal to that tally. Dan James is okay after he was limping after a tackle from Chilwell. Pulisic cuts inside past Maguire. Maguire catches him. And he's been booked for it. Maguire, the ball's gone. He just treads straight on his foot and it is a yellow card. The ball's gone. So a free kick for Chelsea, an area where they can try and get a ball into the box. Coming in from the right side for Chelsea. Mason Mount will deliver the ball in for Chelsea. Ball coming in. Wan-Bissaka breaks away for United. Down the line to Fred. Stood up by Kovacic. He's unable to get away from Kovacic though. Kovacic comes inside and gives the ball to Christensen. Just 10 minutes left now of this tie. Are we going to get a goal? What do you guys reckon? Jack in the comment section if you reckon one of these sides will end up on top. I feel like it's just going to be one goal that will split this one, if there is. Oh, that's... Kante dispossesses Fred. Lays it off. And Chelsea regain possession. Spread out to James on the right. Not many options ahead of him, so he's up to go back for Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta, again, not many options. He's forced to go back to Mendy. Mendy spreads it wide to Rudiger. He's just quite slow, isn't he? Every time he gets the ball, he just stands there and just ponders. But Reece James just fantastically well inside Luke Shaw, opening up the Manchester United midfield. Goes out wide to Mason Mount, but he has a bit of a loose touch that slows down the pace of the attack. Reece James wants it back. Goes to Reece James, but Reece James goes back to Azpilicueta. Infield to Kante. Kante smacks it out for James. He's unable to keep that in. It's a poor ball from N'Golo Kante. Just under 9 minutes. Oh. I think it's going to be 0-0 in it, boys and girls. I think both sides are a little bit cagey, not wanting to change it up and put more numbers on and go for it. Both sides wary of dropping 3 points. Both kind of happy with one. I think the difference for what both sides lacking is they're lacking that out of Pulisic breaking through for Chelsea. I think Luke Shaw's fouled in there, but the referee has played advantage. Kante lays it off to Chilwell. I'll get back to that point in just a second. Chilwell lays it off to Kovacic. Inside to Kante. Kante, good ball out to Chilwell. Chilwell force back. Wan-Bissaka working hard. So just go back and recycle. Comes inside to Pulisic. Chelsea moving the ball quite nicely, but they're not really getting in areas that are going to hurt Manchester United. Mason Mount, good ball. Receives in the edge 18-yard box. Stays out to James. James, ball comes in. Oh, Lindelof. What a tackle. If he's got a touch on that, that's unbelievable defending. It's a great switch for James. Brings down on his chest. Combines in Mount. Mount back to James. What a ball from James. Oh. What a cross from James. Ah, oh, Lindelof. That's an unbelievable tackle. Unbelievable from Lindelof. He's arguably saved his team the game there. United attackers have been very quiet. They have. They're going to goal kick. Lindelof literally hit it out of play and they're going to goal kick. If anyone's going to get a goal now, it does look as though Chelsea, they are the aggressors in this tie in the last just over 6 minutes of normal time. Manchester United bring the ball down as they dispossess Chelsea, but Chelsea dispossess United. Kante wins it back. Man United are being very sloppy in this last 10 minutes, inviting pressure back on them. Werner pulls the trigger with his left foot straight down the neck of David De Gea from quite a tight angle, and he collects and takes the pace out of the attack. United have a throw halfway in their half on the left side. Pulisic running at the... Running at the United defence. He pulls the trigger, but it's over. Chelsea have had some chances in this last 10 minutes, but they've made them half-hearted chances because of their poor shots on goal. Lack of conviction. The chance they have had, they've squandered them. Sure, trying to break past Mason Mount. Mason Mount working hard to keep him pinned back. But he's fouled him though. 4.5 minutes left of normal time. If you haven't done already, please go down there, drop a like on the stream. Manchester United got some possession in their half. Go wide to Luke Shaw. Inside to Fred. Manchester United trying to mount an attack of their own. Fred with some possession inside the Chelsea half. He spreads it wide to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw. Ball in field. Martial collects, but it's defended well by Christensen. It'll be a Manchester United throw. It's about 5 yards away from the corner flag. Will Manchester United try and get an effort on goal? Can they smash and grab this at the late stage of this game? Is there a late twist and turn in this tie? Fred trying to break past Azpilicueta, but it's going to be a Chelsea goal kick. Good defending from Azpilicueta. Tell you what, mate, I hope there is a winner in this one, just to give us a little bit of excitement at the tail end of this game. Reece James down the line for Mount. Also for Pulisic. But he's dispossessed by Maguire. Manchester United free kick. Taken quickly, Luke Shaw. Charging. That's a fantastic tackle from Azpilicueta, who dispossesses Luke Shaw immediately. Mason Mount trying to get the better Bruno Fernandes. Should be. Ooh, it's given to Chelsea. Chelsea throw. Nearly the end of this tie. Just 2 minutes left. I think it's going to be... I need to... What do you reckon? Probably 3 or 4 minutes, I'd say, is going to be added on to this one. It's going to be a Chelsea free kick. Reece James is blocked off by Luke Shaw. It's going to be a Chelsea free kick. A chance for Chelsea to question this Manchester United defence late on in this game. Just 1.5 minutes left, the normal time. Is it going to be Chelsea's last good chance? Reece James and Mason Mount stand over this one. Who's going to deliver it? Chelsea will try and send all numbers for this. United holding a strong line on the edge of the 18-yard box. James will deliver. It's a good ball. De Gea thought about coming out to it, but he left it. Manchester United collect though, Wan-Bissaka. Infield to Fred. Will Manchester United mount a counter-attack? So they will. It's a fantastic ball. McTominay. Dan James at the back post. Ball inside. Kante intercepts. They're still on here for Manchester United. Fernandes on the edge. He goes to Shaw. But he'll actually go to Dan James. Dan James lays off to Luke Shaw. That's horrendous from Dan James there. It's a poor ball. It's wasted by Dan James. That final pass today has been poor for both sides. Waste for Manchester United. It was a good ball in. All Chelsea players was attacking at the front post. Not one person gambled and went to the back post. Fred, fantastic ball from McTominay. The ball from McTominay is not good enough. Hits it straight at Kante. 3 minutes added on. Not many stoppages in this game. 3 minutes left. Ball forward from Mendy onto the head of Maguire. Maguire's header will go out of play for a Chelsea throw just 10 yards inside the Chelsea half. Reece James will take this one. Not many options. He's calling more players towards him. He throws it for Pulisic to flick on, but only as far as McTominay. Rashford brings it down. Rashford's had a quiet game today. Maguire back to De Gea. I was going to say Rashford headed that one on, but Rashford was about 3 yards off the pitch. And that is going to be a Chelsea throw, just about 5 yards inside the Manchester United half this time. Just over about a minute and a half until this tie is over. Is there a late twist? I'm not so sure. Onto Mount, inside to Kante. Kante inside again to Kovacic. What did I say? 0-0 written all over it. It's looking that way, innit, Cam? It's looking that way. Just over a minute remaining at Stamford Bridge. Another free kick for Chelsea, about 5 or 10 yards back from where the last one came in. Reece James should deliver this one. His delivery today has been spot on. So that could be a last chance for Chelsea now. Just 1 minute remaining of added time. That's a fantastic ball, but it's onto the head of Maguire. Mount hits it. Ooh, Mount hits it. It's blocked. Kovacic hits it again. And it goes through to De Gea. De Gea throws it wide to Wan-Bissaka. Good throw. Hits it infield to Fred. But Fred is dispossessed. But Wan-Bissaka comes inside really well. Luke Shaw charging forward. Could it be a last chance for Manchester United? Lays it off to Bruno Fernandes. Infield to Fred. Fred's going to pull the trigger. Oh! Mendy parries it. It's straight down the neck of Mendy. Maguire charges out. But Fred will win it back. Bruno Fernandes. Just 10 seconds left. Can Manchester United mount another charge on goal? He switches it to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka wins it down nicely on his chest. If you do something, they've got to do something quickly. Fred. Infield to Bruno Fernandes. And that is full time at Stamford Bridge. 0-0 is the final score. Goalless at Stamford Bridge. Probably a good result for Chelsea. That narrows down the gap and stops Manchester United escaping from them in second place. Yeah, Fred has a few of those. A couple of good long-range efforts. The gap between the two sides is still 6 points. I mean, look, it's not a bad result for both sides, obviously, because they've still got a point. Manchester United realistically aren't going to catch Manchester City. Not the best game for the first stream. Sadly, nothing I can do about that one. That's 90 minutes and we won't get back. Hardly an enthralling encounter today. Both sides have pretty much cancelled each other out. The first half was very cagey. Opened up a little bit in the last 25 minutes or so. Chelsea had quite a few efforts, but a lack of conviction from both sides. A lot of tame efforts, a lot of half-hearted chances. Not really troubling either keeper with anything too dangerous. Arguably a penalty in the first half for Manchester United. That will be the talking point for this one. Disappointing that. Neither team wanted to lose. That was a thing. Both sides worried to kind of mix it up and throw the kitchen sink at it. Chelsea know how costly it is at this stage of the season. For them, finishing in the top four is massive, and they've got to do it if they want to recruit any good players come the end of the season, because not being in the Champions League is hardly a bargaining point for them in the transfer window. Go on, Charlie, do Liverpool versus Sheffield United. I'm scarred. This weekend has not been good. QPR obviously not getting the result yesterday, and this one hardly being thrilling, but it was enjoyable. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Thank you to everybody who's been in the stream so far. We'll have a little discussion now about what we made about that one. What does that mean for Chelsea? What does that mean for United? It didn't pan out in the first half how I expected it to. 6 points between the two sides. That means there's a gap now of 12 points at the top for Manchester City. You may as well give them the title now. Chelsea just 1 point off West Ham, sitting in fourth. And 5 points off Leicester City, sitting in third. Who is going to finish in that top four? It's all yet to be seen. Manchester United just didn't look good in front of goal today. Very cagey. Very cagey indeed, Max. I think Cavani is kind of a miss for Manchester United. I think both sides. They've got a lot of creative players. If you look at Chelsea, the likes of Pulisic, Ziyech, Mount, and Havertz, they're all players that play behind and around a good striker who can lead the line. They don't have that. Werner as well, he's kind of a player that can play off someone and is complemented by a striker that can bring them into play. Giroud isn't quite that at the moment for them. I feel like they're missing that focal point up front. Manchester United do have that in Edison Cavani. Of course, he is not match fit at the moment, so he's not in the team for that one. So Mason Mount, it was argued that he was going to play in the false nine. It's just a lot of creative players that don't have that grit I don't have that experience as well. That's a lot of it. You look at those players, Havertz, Pulisic and Mount, all very inexperienced, all young and not really coming into the better stages of their career. Obviously, Giroud is arguably... I'm being quite critical as well. I do like Olivier Giroud, but I just don't think he's the man for Chelsea at the moment. Werner wasn't really the guy to bring in. They should have known that bringing Werner in, he's not an out-and-out striker. So I'd have to question that recruitment. Adrian's playing for Liverpool. No way. Wow. Interesting. At Manchester United, they've been lacking a good out-and-out striker for a long time now. And for the passing in the final third for both sides, let them both down today. That game was there for the taking for both sides in the latter stages. Chelsea not gambling. The ball's coming into the box. Reece James putting in some fantastic crosses in the later stages. And nobody gambling on the back post. Thomas Tuchel's got his work cut out at Chelsea. He has got a good squad on paper, but he needs to get the best out of it. Both sides just very cagey today. They knew how much winning it meant today. And even just getting a point on the board, it was too costly to risk losing the game. Stick or twist. And they stuck today, didn't they? They didn't gamble and go for all three. Is there anything else we talk about? What did you guys make of that one? Thank you to everybody who stuck in the stream throughout this afternoon. Sadly, Chelsea Man United didn't come up trumps with an exciting one for us to sit here and enjoy, but what can you do? You can't win them all. You can't win them all. Right then, let's give it a wrap. Thank you to everybody who jumped in the stream today for the live watch along. That is the launch of the CharlieW channel. Make sure you stay tuned and subscribe because there will be lots more content coming along. More Premier League, maybe some Championship, some Champions League, and even some content on England with the upcoming Euros. All right, well, thank you to everybody for tuning in. Make sure you stay tuned because, like I say, lots will be coming to the channel. And make sure you follow me on Instagram, CharlieW_official, and on Twitter, CharlieW_OFCL. And we will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully there's some more football that's more entertaining than that.